I'm not saying we shouldn't have preferences, but when preferences cross that identity boundary, anxiety begins to creep up on us. Please, because your body doesn't know if you're running away from the 0.01% of gems or you're running away from a lion in the safari. Cortisol is released. You're carrying that thing as anxiety. And life is already hard. Life is already hard. So for the things that we can control, how about we give ourselves just some ease? How about we give ourselves a break? Hi beautiful people, this is Tlholo Mavelani and welcome to my channel. On this channel, as people searching for purpose, as dreamers, entrepreneurs, we are here to learn how to exhale and enjoy our journeys. The meantime, in between this day and the big milestone we are going after, how do we enjoy our journeys? Now I want to share about anxieties that we might be carrying on our journeys. These are joy stealers. We want to enjoy our journeys. They are little joy stealers on our journeys that sometimes we might not even be aware of, that are in turn actually also causing anxiety. I have an example of this thing in my life. You know, my husband calls it being a germaphobe. I remember him saying, yo, Tlholo, you have a problem, you know, because when we get to a restaurant, I'm inspecting the glass, I'm inspecting the plate. I am distressed when I see a line of something on the plate. I am distressed if he's trying to give me a spoon of something and I didn't rinse the plate or the spoon myself. I am distressed going out, eating somewhere, and I did not just do a double rinse on the plate and the glass. And because I know how to show up and behave, I don't externalize it or re-rinse. Sometimes I just cringe as I swallow the juice from the clean glass that wasn't double rinsed, you know, and that's just been my life. That's just been my life, you know. And when my husband said, you've got a problem, another problem, I'm like, oh, badung. He's like, you've got a problem, you know. So I was like, okay, maybe I do have a problem, you know. And living like this is kind of frustrating. So where does this come from? Where does this come from? Why is he okay to just eat whatever from wherever? Okay, not whatever from whatever, but you know, just not anxious all the time about the level of cleanliness in that distressful way, you know. And I thought about it and I remembered. I was in elementary school, in primary school. They got the whole school into the school hall and they played this graphic video on a big screen of just enlarged bacteria and how bacteria was everywhere and it was just, you know, out to get us, and so we should wash our hands. But that stuck with me. That was actually like some sort of trauma that stuck with me. And I remember growing up just being, what is it, yeah, I don't have the word, you know, just about germs and not liking to eat from a plate that I haven't rinsed. And you know, I've been having this habit and it's become a way of life, and just approaching mealtime with this intensity and distress because I didn't double rinse a glass or a plate. Fast forward, we had a getaway. My husband and I, we had a getaway, and this getaway, it's just me and him, and we sort of in a place where, you know, there are not a lot of shops. And when we get there, it's in the afternoon, I realized, I didn't bring my beach flops, my slippers that I was gonna use to stand in the shower with. Oh my gosh, because everywhere we go, I have slippers, because I'm not gonna like stand in a shower, even if it's like a 5-star hotel shower and whatever, or I'm just not gonna stand there because germs. have my sobs, and I couldn't buy, so I bought bleach. So of course the next rational thing to do is to buy some bleach. So I bought some bleach. When we got there, I bleached the place, and then when it's time to shower, guess what? I was still like on my toes and slash on the sides of my feet, just cringing, and I was just showering, and then I quickly shower, and then I get out, and then I remember just feeling like God was like, yo, let me holler at you, man, let me talk to you. That was just irrational. Do you realize that you just had an anxious experience? You're like, I'm just finding the 0.0% of the germs that the bleach left behind. But your body is carrying that thing as anxiety. Cortisol is being released because your body doesn't know if you're running away from the 0.01% of germs or you're running away from a lion in the safari. Cortisol is released. You're carrying that thing as anxiety, and life is already hard. So for the things that we can control, how about we give ourselves just some ease? How about we give ourselves a break? You call it a preference, you call it some way of life, habit, the way you do things. Your body is carrying it as anxiety. So it's so important for us to stop and figure out, why do I do the thing that I do that is causing me distress and causing even the people around me distress? With this cleaning thing, I started teaching my kids, from across the street, if I saw someone about to grab something, about to eat without washing their hands, I'll be like, ah. I'm a bit animated, and I remember just cringing when my kids are touching dirt or I'm just like, will they die? No. Probably what's going to happen is their immune system will get stronger and they'll be fine. But it's a habit. It's a way that I don't think twice about why I'm doing this thing. I distress myself. I also distress the people around me. And I realized that it's an anxiety I absolutely can release. It's a preference and a way of life I absolutely can release. And next time I'm in that space, which was the next day, I was able to step into that shower, relax, let the water run down my body, take some deep breaths, enjoy the space of tranquility in the shower without thinking about the 0.001% of germs that might be creeping up my toes. And I am in no way undermining some phobias or phobias that people might be carrying, but I am saying there are certain points of anxieties and preferences that we definitely can today, even on our own, begin to tackle. In the first place, of course, is to identify those preferences, those things you call the way I do. This is just the way I do things. Because even the way that you do things can cross a boundary, an identity boundary, where the things that you do begin to become who you are, So because I'm a man, X and Y and Z must happen. Because I'm a woman, my place needs to be like X and Y. And it's fine. I'm not saying you shouldn't have preferences, but when preferences cross that identity boundary, anxiety begins to creep up on us, because then we need that thing to be a specific way. Otherwise, it questions our world and who we are. So it's very important for us to begin to identify those spaces of anxiety that we can release. Maybe your kids can run around a little bit, maybe your spouse can just put their feet on the couch, I don't know, maybe you can just relax a little bit on some of those preferences, ways of doing, and habits that are actually bringing extra tension, knots in your bodies, actually straining and harming your body and stealing the joy from your life. So I hope that makes sense. I'm learning to also release those things. This one around clean plates and clean pots and spoons is one that I am so glad I started to release. It's very, very, very recent, but I didn't realize how much tension I was carrying, how much joy it was stealing from a night out, from a romantic moment. You wanna feed me ice cream? I'm like, is that spoon clean? Clean that spoon, then I'll eat. It's just stealing. It's just stealing. It's small things, and of course, the small things matter. So, I'd love to hear what are some of those things that you want to release, some of those preferences and ways of doing that are causing tension to you and the people around you that you could do without. All right. Thanks for joining me and sticking around in this episode. And please do like and subscribe and share this content with some people that you think will benefit. And I'll see you next time. Cheers.